Dear students, we are going to start the new chapter Electricity and Circuits. Chapter 12 Electricity and Circuits. In this chapter, what are we going to learn? We are going to learn what is electricity, what are its various uses, what is an electric cell, what is a bulb, and why we should avoid portable electric generators, why should we use only electric cells, what will happen if we improperly handle electricity and electric devices, and how can we connect a bulb with an electric cell, what is electric circuit, what is electric switch, what are electric conductors and insulators. All these things we are going to learn in this chapter. Electricity and circuits. What is electricity? The flow of electric charge is known as electricity. Flow of electric charge is known as electricity, and this electricity, it provides power. Next, what is circuit? The path of flow of electrons of current. The path of flow of electrons of current is known as circuit, right? Then you can learn open circuit and closed circuit. Right? So, what is electricity? The flow of electric charge is known as electricity, that provides us power, right? And circuit is the path of flow of electrons of current, and there are two types of circuits, open circuit and a closed circuit. And where all we generally use electricity? We use electricity to operate pumps that lift water from wells. We operate we use electricity to light the bulbs, for lighting purpose, and to light our homes, and to light the street lamps, offices, markets, and to run factories, and especially electricity, the use of electricity, it will be very much coming into our notice after the sunset, because without electricity we will not generally survive now. We got habituated to use the electricity like anything. So if electricity is not there, no AC will work, no light will be on, no fan will work, and many of our home appliances, they will not work, TV will not work, nothing will work, right? So all these things, we are going to use electricity in all these things, like to run fans, ACs, fridge, to run various machines, to run factories after the sunset, to light the lamps, office lamps, street lamps, home lamps, for lighting purpose, to operate pumps. For all, so many purposes electricity is being used. right? And from where we get electricity? Power stations provide us electricity, right? But power stations, they provide us electricity for our homes, whereas certain devices, means we carry the devices like torch and certain portable motors, all these things. How do we get electricity for them? Even in our bike also, we need electricity, okay, for self-start and for horn, all these purposes, right? Cells, electric cells provide us electricity for torch, right? Electric cell itself, it provides electricity to even alarm clocks, wristwatches, transistor radios, and for cameras, for remotes that are used for TVs, remotes that are used for cars, all these things, okay. For central lock, we use, okay, a small cell in central lock button of these cars, automobiles, etc., right? So electricity for all these small devices we get from electric cell. What is this electric cell? A small device that contains chemicals in it and generates electricity that can be used to light the torch, to use some small devices, etc., right? So every electric cell is having two terminals or two ends. Every electric cell is having two terminals. Right. If you take a very electric cell, you can find two terminals, right? What are those terminals? A very electric cell has a small cap, metal cap on one side and a metal disc on the other side, right? The small metal cap that is present on the top side is known as positive terminal, and the metal disc which is present in the bottom side is known as negative terminal. The metal disc in the bottom you can see in circles, okay, circular manner, right? Okay. How will an electric cell produces electricity? How will an electric cell produce electricity? How will an electric cell produce electricity? If you take an electric cell, inside the electric cell, some chemicals are present. These chemicals, okay, they will generate electricity by some reactions, right? Once the chemicals are fully used up for those reactions, then electric cell will stop producing electricity. So chemicals present inside the electric cell, they produce electricity, and thus we get electricity from the electric cell. Once the chemicals are fully used up, once the chemicals are fully used up, then the electric cell stop producing electricity. And we should not attempt to experiment with electric wires and sockets. Why? Why one should never attempt to experiment with the electric wires and sockets? Because electricity can be very dangerous if not handled properly, right? Improper handling of electricity and electric devices, it can cause severe injuries and sometimes even death also. So one should never attempt to experiment with the electric wires and sockets, especially when they are not properly covered, right? And we must better use electric cells rather than portable generators. You might have seen some portable generators at some functions and all, okay? But it is better advised to use electric cells rather than use of portable generators, because electricity generated by portable generator is equally dangerous like the normal electricity that is produced that is provided from power station. So it's better to use only electric cells for all of our activities related to electricity, especially in the portable conditions. It is better to use electric cells. When should we replace an electric cell? If chemicals inside the electric cells are once completely used up, then electric cell stops producing electricity, or the produced electricity will be coming down. You might have seen in a wall clock that is fitted with electric cell. Once it stopped or reduced producing electricity, the wall clock will slow down in its function. It starts showing a lesser time than the actual time. Okay. Then we have to understand that the electric cell present in that wall clock, it has stopped functioning. Okay. Then we need to change with a new electric cell. Right. Coming to a bulb.
Centimeter. Centimeter. Sir, anybody is in the lobby, sir? Sir, someone are in the lobby. Sir, someone is in the lobby, sir. Someone is in the lobby.
Okay, okay.
So someone in the lobby, sir. The lobby, sir. Please admit him, sir. Someone are chatting in the chat box. Sir, someone is in the sir. Yes, sir. Sir, anyone is waiting for lobby.
Right. If you take electric bulb, in a bulb you can see a thin wire, and whenever you switch on, that thin wire will glow and it gives off light. That thin wire that gives off light inside the bulb is known as filament. The thin wire, the thin wire that gives off light by glowing, okay, inside the bulb, it is known as filament. This filament is fixed to two thicker wires, and these two thicker wires, they provide support to the filament, right? And they are connected to two terminals. If you take the bulb, it has got a metal case and a metal tip at the base. One thick wire is connected to metal case, another thick wire is connected to metal tip. Thus, the metal case and metal tip are the two terminals of the bulb. These two terminals do not touch each other. They should not touch each other. So, electric cell and electric bulb both have two terminals each. right? If you take electric bulb or electric cell, both are having two terminals. So if you take any electric device, it has got two terminals, right? Now let us learn how to connect a electric cell with a electric bulb.
Ritvik, why are we sharing? Screen has Sir, the Ryan video equal to Chiranjeevi is sharing the screen, but we are pinning your video. Satvik, Ritvik is not sharing. Ritvik was not sharing. Ritvik was not sharing. I was sharing. I was sharing, but I was taking out the whiteboard. Yes, Ritvik was taken to remove the whiteboard. Sir, the Chiranjeevi has shared the Ryan video. Yes, Satvik, I have not shared anything yet. First, it came our screen, Chiranjeevi, about that the Royal Hero started to share. Yes. Oh, it's Royal Hero sharing. Yes, bro, I'm not sharing, bro. Okay, bro, you only share. Someone sharing. Someone took presenter. Someone became presenter and gave me. I am not sharing. It has taken the Royal Hero has started screen sharing. It has taken that and he dismissed the sharing content. You should not sharing. What is your real name? You should be in the real name. His name is Chiranjeevi. He is coming in class. Am I right?
See, how can we connect electric cell with a electric bulb? I already told you electric cell is having two terminals as well as electric bulb also is having two terminals. You take the cables, electric cables, and at the ends of the cable you remove the plastic covering so the inner wire will be opened out, right? And you need to take two electric cables. So in order to distinguish the positive and negative terminals, better to take two different colored cables. And for each cable, the ends have to be removed. They have to be removed their plastic. When you remove the plastic at the ends, the inner copper wire will be coming out. You attach one end of one wire at the top part of the electric cell, that is at positive terminal, and you attach the other end of the cable to metal case of the bulb, and in the same way you attach one end of the another cable to the base of the electric cell, that is the metal disc of the electric cell, and the other end of the cable you attach to the metal tip of the bulb. Then the flow of electricity takes place and the bulb glows. The bulb glows means actually from where to where the electrons or the electricity flow.
Yes, sir.
So this is the flow of electrons. So electricity is flowing from here to here, this metal is, from where it is entering into this filament. As the electrons enter in the filament will glow. The filament will glow and gives off light. And it will not just present at that place itself. It will move down. Electrons will be keep continuously flowing, and they will come down and they will come back here to the, so positive to negative. So electricity is flowing from positive to negative terminal. Electricity flows from positive to negative terminal. Right? So electric cell, it has to be always connected to a device with the cables. If you connect the positive and the negative terminals, assume that if you have connected the positive and negative terminals of an electric cell like this, what will happen? The flow of electrons will be taking place, and the electricity, the power will be unnecessarily getting used up and it is wasted. So you should never connect the positive and negative terminal of the electric cell directly with a cable. If you do that, what will happen? The electricity present, the power present inside the electric cell will be used up and it will be getting wasted. So whenever you are in actual need, then you have to connect it like that. So if you carefully see, there is a path that is starting from the positive terminal and ending at a negative terminal. This path is known as what? The path of electricity from positive to negative terminal continuously is known as what? What it is called? I already told you in the starting. Circuit. It is called circuit. Okay, right? And you can use a device. You can use a device. You can use a device so that see now that device, it allowed this wire to touch the metal case. Now the bulb will glow. When you do like this, the device, it will not allow the wire to touch it, to touch the metal case of the bulb. And what will happen? The bulb does not glow, right? So what is the difference? What is the difference between the previous condition and other condition? Now circuit, it is also a circuit. Is the circuit is closed circuit or open circuit? There is a gap between this metal case and this wire, na? There is a gap. There is an opening between the metal case and the cable wire, na? Right?
Yes, sir.
So it is a open circuit. It is a open circuit. So when you switch off using a switch, when you are just making it off, what actually are you doing? You are making the circuit open. When you are switching off, what are you doing actually? You are opening the circuit. You are opening the circuit. When you open the circuit, what will happen? Will the electric device function or stops?
Stops.
Very good. Will the bulb glows or stops glowing?
Stop blowing.
Stops glowing. Now, when you switch it on, okay, it will move forward and
The electric circuit then again.
the circuit is closed. Now the circuit is closed, right?
Closed.
In closed circuit, will the electric device
Yes.
function or stop?
It will function.
Right. Right? So with closed circuit, the electric device will work. With open circuit, the electric device will stop functioning. Got my point? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And one very, very interesting thing, which I am going to tell in a contradictory way of my previous statement, is electricity actually flows from negative to positive terminal.
How, sir?
Previously, what did I tell? Previously, what did I tell? Electricity flows from positive to negative, na? Previously, I told electricity. Stop talking. Please stop talking. Allow me to just speak. Right. Electricity flows from positive to negative terminal. That's what I told previously, right? Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
that is called conventional flow. That is called conventional flow. Conventional means in olden days people thought the electricity will flow from positive to negative terminal. But actually, what is electricity? Flow of electric charge or flow of electrons. Electrons means they are negatively charged particles. The negatively charged particles, they are present accumulated in the negative terminal of this electric cell. Here, more of electrons will be there. Whereas here, very less will be there. Right? So, will water flow from more water having area to less water having area, or less water having area to more water having area? Then what about electricity? Will electrons flow from more accumulated electrons area to less electrons area, or from less electron area to more electron area?
More area to less area, sir.
Good. So actually, what old people have thought about flow of electrons. That flow of electrons is known as conventional flow, and even still, that conventional flow only is in diagrams and all we show. But actually, what is happening? The flow of electrons is taking place from negative to positive terminal, not from positive to negative terminal. So, writing positive to negative terminal is known as what? Conventional flow of electrons. What it is called? Conventional flow of electrons. And what is the actual flow of electrons? Negative to positive. Okay. And what is a switch? What is switch? What is an electric switch?
Connection of electricity.
No. It is a small device that can either break or that can either open or close the circuit. It is a small device which can either open or close the circuit. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So, by which we can either on the electric device or off the electric device from its functioning. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So, have you learned something new today regarding electricity?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
More